All right, so we're back at it again. This time, I just had a silly, quick kind of video idea. I wanted to do a happy birthday video for the One Piece characters that share my birthday, which was yesterday, September the 10th. Which I checked on the calendar using the Library of Ohara. Great tool to use if you ever want to look up anything One Piece related, honestly. They have lots of stuff on there, but they have a birthday calendar that was updated. I think it was last updated a couple years ago. So the only characters that aren't on it are anybody that we've met since I think like 2023. But overall, it's got a ton of characters on it, and I share my birthday with two One Piece characters. And that would be they're both Marines. They're not the coolest Marines. One of them isn't very cool at all and isn't seen much, and the other one is actually pretty cool. We'll start with the more lame one. Very good. And if you don't know who the Marine Very Good is, he was a Marine captain, and we only encountered him in the anime one time at the Buster Call at Enies Lobby. He is the Marine who ended up fighting Frankie. He has the Berry Berry no Mi, which ends up letting him split his body into like round sphere shaped like orbs, and he can kind of maneuver them around and use them to like fling them at you at high speeds and hit you or avoid your attacks. And it's a little silly, I'll be honest. Once you get to the range of like really any remotely relevant characters, it's pretty useless against them. You have hockey where you just have AoE attacks and you can kind of lay them down. The only other time he appeared was in a manga cover story. It was the CP9 Independent Report. They sent Very Good to go catch the rogue CP9 agents. Which is just bananas because there is no world where this guy is catching Rob Lucci or Kaku or any of them, honestly, for that matter. He is still alive, though, in the story. We haven't had anything saying that he died. I'll be honest that he hasn't really appeared in anything that I know of, really, other than that. I think we did get I'm on one of his pages. Okay, we did get a picture of him when he was young and at some point. That's about it. Back before he had his black afro. And before he had the scar on his forehead. He's got a neck scar up here on his forehead. But when he still had Marine across his jaw. It's absolutely wild. But anyways, happy birthday to Very Good. Well, belated birthday yesterday. But happy birthday, Very Good. Now on to the much cooler Marine who I share a birthday with. T-Bone. And I would like to think you know who T-Bone is if you've watched One Piece. At least far enough into One Piece. He played a not super relevant role. I think once. I know we hear about him again after, but I know we see him once, and he is a Marine Vice Admiral. He ends up fighting with Zoro during on the sea train in between the Water 7 and Enies Lobby arc. So while they're on the sea train, Zoro ends up having to do all kinds of stuff like cut a train in half and all that nonsense. He also ends up having to clash with T-Bone. And Zoro does remark that T-Bone is a skilled, strong swordsman. But he has to defeat him quickly because they don't have a choice, with the train coming by and having to go save Robin. He's got to move. So he had to make quick work of him. After he was defeated, we do know that he lived, and then we didn't hear anything else about him. He is a really cool, well, until more recently, actually, on Egghead, and we got some bad news about him. His epithet is Ship Cutter. T-Bone was a Marine Vice Admiral. I'll be honest, I don't know much else about him. He is, unfortunately, deceased. Oh, and I did just look. He is 6'7", so he is a tall guy. We knew that, but he is deceased. We don't know exactly when he died, but we know it was after Cross Guild was formed and they put out the bounties on the Marines because somebody actually ended up taking his head, killing him, turned it in order to take that money and use it for their family. And I believe the theory by people in general, maybe not. Who knows if the citizens of the One Piece world feel that way or think that way. But us as fans, from what I've seen, a lot of people believe that he probably let the person take his life. Because Very Good, my bad. T-Bone was a very strong-willed type of guy. He was actually really cool. And he had a really strong personality where he really cared about actually protecting people and standing up for what's right, etc. And odds are the reason that he was killed was because he let the person kill him so that way they could take his head. And that way they would be able to turn it in and, feed their family. We did see T-Bone also as a younger Marine at some point. And really, he doesn't look that different. Other than, I mean, he still looks like he's probably tall, skinny, kind of plain face. He's got this wide, plain type mouth. Um, T-Bone is kind of a cool guy. I really liked him a lot. It's really sad that he ended up being killed. I'll be honest, let me see. Let me read down his page, see if it doesn't say where he was killed at. In the Pepe Kingdom. It says he was stabbed and killed. Oh, and he did gain a mustache, and I guess you'd call that a beard. So his mustache is just a really straight line going across his face. It's kind of funny. And then his beard is two straight lines just running down his chin. It's kind of ridiculous. T-Bone didn't have any devil fruit. He was just a swordsman. Oh, I am on the page. I am reading. A couple things I can say. He had his own style of swordsmanship called right angle fencing, which allowed him to essentially shoot ranged attacks from his sword. Excuse me. And that's something that we've only seen like some pretty powerful swordsmen do, being like Zoro, Mihawk. I think we might have saw Vista maybe do something like that. But only pretty tough swordsmen have we seen be able to use any form of like ranged attacks. So he is a skilled swordsman. He's not like super strong, but he was a skilled swordsman. And I believe he was actually moved to Vice Admiral, because I believe he was a Rear Admiral and a Captain previously, but he ended up being a Vice Admiral by the time he was his head was taken. Other than that, he does know hockey, because we know that any Marine Vice Admirals have to possess hockey, so therefore he can use some form of hockey, whether that's just observation or armament or what. We do know that he can use hockey. T-Bone, we do know he also had a named sword, which is really cool. It was called Bamboo. It is a perfectly straight blade, and it's finely decorated. It's actually kind of cool looking. It's like a really long sword with like a really cool decorated like hilt and kind of handle. It's pretty neat. It kind of has like a cross at the end of it, and it does say somewhere in here too that he kind of has the same style as like a Templar, how they're depicted, that style of character. But I really think T-Bone was really cool. It's a real shame that he ended up having to be defeated. And killed. Because honestly, I wouldn't have minded seeing him around again. But we did, at least, he got a cool fight. Lots of Marines, like Very Good, for example, don't even get cool fights. Frankie kind of just beat him up real quick in the manga. I believe he like one-paneled him in the manga. In the anime, it took him longer. And then at least for T-Bone, he actually got a pretty cool scene in the manga and in the anime with Zoro, of all people, in a pretty badass scene, kind of cutting him down. Still a shame, like I said, that he had to end up being killed. But it is what it is. I'm still going to say happy birthday, T-Bone. It's a real shame what happened. And Very Good, happy birthday as well. For me, like I said, I share a birthday with them. My birthday was yesterday. I just turned 26 years old. I ended up just hanging out. I had a really nice day. But I did have this idea to put out this video. I just ended up getting a little sidetracked with stuff going on. But I figured it'd be a nice, really short, simple, easy video. Honestly, the only other, I call him a person, that I know who shares my birthday is one of my cats. His name is Glob. I'd let him in here, but I'll be honest. Between him and my other cat, Gold, I don't know what they're doing right now. They might be waiting right outside the door. They might not. But happy birthday. Very Good, Glob, and T-Bone. Gotta say. Not my favorite One Piece characters, T-Bone and Very Good, but not the worst ones I could share a birthday with. I think it is funny that it's two Marines, though, if nothing else. But anyways, I just wanted to keep it short. I just thought it would be silly to go in here and put a video out just because something simple. I figured it was just, if I didn't share a birthday with anybody, I wasn't going to make this video. But once I saw it was two Marines that I knew I could talk at least a couple minutes about for each of them, it gives me enough time to get out some type of video. So, God, I'm glad I at least got T-Bone. Because if it had been Very Good and somebody else, like Spondum or goodness, if I had had like a Celestial Dragon, somebody really awful, I probably wouldn't have made this video at all. I wouldn't have wanted to associate with them. But yeah, I mean, that's honestly about it. I'm checking over, making sure one more time that there's nothing else to really say, honestly, of importance at all. Yeah, there's not. So, R.I.P. T-Bone. Real cool guy. Very Good. do not reappear in the manga or the anime. For the love of all that is holy, you are not cool at all. Your fruit's pretty plain, pretty wild. I don't like it. Not very useful. But happy birthday to the both of you, nonetheless. I hope everybody has a good week. Actually, I'll probably be getting out a video in the next couple days. Today for me is Thursday. We should be getting a new chapter anytime, honestly, because typically on my side, chapters like the Raws drop around Wednesday or Thursday, and then I get a translated chapter that I typically read by Thursday or Friday. So if I'm real lucky, sometime tomorrow after I get off my shift or Saturday, I'll be putting out another video. So I hope everybody did have a good week, though. I hope everybody has a good couple days to come, and I'll be back around for the next One Piece chapter review here soon. So have a good one. Later. Bye.